me say something about a Christian. A Christian's heart cannot be filled with joy and complacent at the same time. I want somebody to turn to Matthew chapter number, and let's set this up today, because this is a good place to get it set up. Somebody turn to Matthew chapter 14, verse 22. I want to get me a reader. Get me someone to read verse 22 all the way down to 33. Let's set this teaching up, and so that we can get off ground. Anybody who has that, let's read it. Let's read it.
Okay, reading from the New King James Version, it states, "Immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up on the mountains by himself to pray. Now when evening came, he was alone there. But the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves, for the winds were contrary. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, 'It is a ghost.' And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, 'Be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid.' And Peter answered him and said, 'Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water.' So he said, 'Come.' And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, 'Lord, save me.' And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him, and said to him, 'O ye of little faith, why did you doubt?' And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Then those who were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, 'Truly you are the Son of God.'"
Now,
Amen.
Now, when we come to Matthew chapter number 14, verses 22 through 33, and read about Simon Peter walking on the water, we often hear people condemning him for sinking and taking his eyes off of Jesus. But have you considered the fact that he was the only one that got out of the boat to go to Jesus? Now that sounds like a guy that says that I want to move beyond average. Because these boat talkers, these boat talkers, they already sitting up here and don't want. Now we and let me say something, that we always talk about Peter sinking, but nobody sinked in the boat. Nobody sinked in the boat. Ain't no sinking in the boat. So sinking means somebody got out the boat and tried and moved and said, "I gotta go beyond mediocrity." I got these preachers in here, they feeling this today. So they know what I'm talking about. We've got to get beyond that. This passage of scripture challenges us every time I read this passage, and especially moving beyond mediocrity. It gives us an invitation to live a victorious life. These verses teaches us that we have the authority from God to walk on the stormy ways of our surroundings and head straight to Jesus. Now here before us is an invitation. Everybody said invitation. An invitation to get out of the boat of ordinary Christian life. That's what this class was, an invitation to get out of the boat of an ordinary Christian life into the circumstances where trusting God is the norm. Now, let's get to the first point, because this is where I want to talk to you about, number one, the requirements for moving beyond mediocrity. That's the first point that I want to talk to you. Can we work it out?
Yes.
If you truly want to walk on water in your spiritual life, there's a few things that I believe that you've got to do if you're going to move beyond mediocrity. There is some requirements. Number one is that the requirement of moving beyond that, you must remember some things. Your desire, you're ready to get right now. A in your books, your desire to get to Jesus must be greater than the fear of the unknown. I'm going to say it again.
Wow.
Your desire to get to Jesus must be greater than the fear of the unknown. I'm going to say that again. Here's the requirements of moving beyond mediocrity is that your desire to get to Jesus must be greater than the fear of the unknown. Watch this, until your desire, and I call it your desire factor, rises over your fear factor.
Wow.
Because you gotta have, your fear factor is what's holding sometimes you back. But until your desire factor rises over your fear factor, God can do little in your life. Now let me tell you what fear does. Fear will stop you dead in your tracks.
You're right.
I know that from many experiences, because sometimes in my pastoring, the devil will try to tell me I'm over my head now. But let me tell you something. God will never show up until it is over your head.
Yeah. So you know.
And so the reason why you ain't seen him ain't nothing over your head. When it gets over your head, then he gets over here.
Yes.
You know, as long as I got it, it's under me. There's some stuff that's in life will get over your head. And how many people had anything that was over your head? So here's what you have to remember is that fear will stop Christians dead in their tracks. Most Christians will say that they trust God, but there are times when they allow fear of the unknown to keep them getting out of the boat into the water. Now what I want to do this morning is to get you out of the boat and get you in the water. Because the miracles are not happening in the boat.
That's right.
I gotta get you in the water. It's time to get you in the water.
Thank you.
Get you in the water. This is what we gotta do, is that we gotta get you in the water. Get you in the water. Get you in the water, because it's all right. And the reason why people don't want to get in the water, they don't want to get wet.
Yes.
They want to stay in dry places. Comfortable places.
Comfortable.
That's why we don't want no more than what we got. We don't want no more members. But you see, there's some places that you're not going to be able to get some miracles until you get on the water.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Now, what makes this story of Simon Peter walking on the water so interesting? He never asked Jesus to calm the storm first to get out of the water.
That's right.
He never said, Lord, I tell you what, because now y'all read the story.
Yes.
He's getting out in bad weather.
Yeah.
He's getting out in the water, not when it is good to get out. Most of you all won't try stuff until the weather clears. There's something about that when Peter gets out of the boat, he doesn't ask God, brothers and sisters, that to ask God, Jesus, calm the water first so that I can get out of the boat. The storm, if you all remember, it said it was boisterous. And it sounds like that word means that this storm was cutting up. And this storm was talking. And this storm was saying some stuff. And this storm could have said to him, if you come out here, we're going to kill you. This storm could have told him that if you try this, we're going to kill you. This storm was at its peak. It was at its darkest time of the night, raining. It was not slacking off. The storm was it was not was a storm that was an unknown storm. It was a boisterous storm.
Yes.
Simon Peter did not know what the first step would be like, but he took it anyhow, and he took it anyway. Now I'm gonna tell you something. The unknown. Everybody in this room, there's one thing that you are afraid of, and you may not know, but there's one thing that all of us in this room are afraid of.
Yeah,
And that's the unknown.
Unknown, yeah.
That gets us up at night. That rocks
Yes,
us. I
unknown.
don't care how much you sit up in here saying you're a Star Wars missionary. You know that unknown stuff. Even Job said the thing that I feared most now has come up on me. It's the unknown. The unknowns in life suddenly encourages us. And here's the thing about is that because we are creatures of habit, we want to know what's happening. Because who we are, we want God to tell us everything. And sometimes God never gives us a sneak preview of what's getting ready to happen.
You're right.
Never he tells us what's getting ready to happen. We want to control the things that are happening in your life.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
know how I am. Sometimes I can be a control freak. I think I gotta control everything. But there's some stuff in life God won't let you micromanage. I know y'all like to micromanage everything. You do well at it sometimes, but life don't let you micromanage it. What are the requirements A? What is the requirement A if you're going to move beyond? What did I tell you all? What did I? Come on,
Desire to get Jesus must be greater than the fear of the unknown.
That's right. Your desire to get to Jesus
must be greater than the fear of the unknown.
Here's the next one that you need to write down. There must be a willingness to fail.
Wow.
There must be a willingness to fail. You know, or there must be a willingness of failure or to fail. Anytime a person step out of the boat and attempt something for God, there's going to be possibilities of failure. This is not indication that God fails. There are going to be times when we will just fail or we just stumble. You know, let me tell you something. One thing about falling is you can get up from here now and not watch and not see where you're going and fall right on the floor. You say, I don't see that. It doesn't make you less than a person. It just tells me you're human. But now here's the thing about it is that the only way that you were going to get to this door is that you had to get up out of this chair. But on your way you failed. There must be a willingness to fail. This is not indicating that you will fail into some kind of, well, sometimes people always think that if you fall or you fail is that it's something that you sin. No matter how good your intentions are or what your goals are, there will be a possibility of failure. I can't tell you how many times that I have failed. I wish I could tell you that I've always made everything was success. I failed in a lot of areas. Simon didn't. Simon Peter didn't fall because he was not attempting to do the impossible. You got to remember is that he had to have a thought that he was there was a possibility of failure because you got to think about stepping out of the boat. Now you got to remember is that you're stepping out on something you ain't never walked on. Because he has never been a walker of water. So he's stepping out. with the possibility that I'm gonna fail.
Yeah.
But he had a willingness.
Yeah.
Because how many times, listen here, he never walked on water before. He know what it means to walk on solid ground, but no water. But now here is something that I believe that God wants us to be: water walking Christians.
Yeah.
Wow.
Water walkers. Water walkers. Now let me get to the number C. C, there must be a commitment to Jesus. There must be a commitment to Jesus. What did I tell you B was? There must be a willingness to fail. But here's number C. There must be a commitment to Jesus. Once Simon recognized that it was Jesus on the water, he made up his mind. He made up his mind what he wanted to do and to commit to. Simon Peter saw this as an opportunity to get to where Jesus was, even if he was doing something at the roughest times of the time. Because now notice something, when he's out there, you remember that the waves are boisterous, the winds are blowing, but now all he is concerned about is making a commitment to get to Jesus.
Yes.
Is to get to Jesus. You got to make that commitment to get to Jesus, even during the roughest times of the storms. Lord, I'm coming out there. So you know what? I believe that you are able to help me.
Yes, sir.
Let me get to this next one. Is what was A, y'all? What was A? Let's go back over. I just like it.
To Jesus must be greater than the fear of the unknown.
All right. And B was what?
There must be a willingness to fail
All
or
right.
failure.
C is what?
There must be a commitment to Jesus.
All right. Now here's something else. Not only must here's C. There must be a commitment to Jesus, but here's D. There must be a commitment from Jesus. You see, now he had to commit to Jesus, but then you got to have Jesus to commit to you. Oh my God. We want one from when we won't give one to. So now here, y'all preachers, y'all get ready to preach this Sunday, because see, there must be a commitment from.
Right.
Think about this. There must be a commitment from Jesus. Now he had to first make a commitment to Jesus. And then when he got a commitment to Jesus, he got a commitment from Jesus. Because he ain't gonna never have you to come to him, and he's not gonna come to you.
Right. That's it. That's it.
Oh, Jesus.
And he said, come.
I'm moving. Think about what is taking place in this story. Just think about what's taking place in this story. Simon Peter committed to get out of the boat. Watch this. And in order to make this commitment complete, he must have a commitment from Jesus. It was vital that Simon Peter decided to fully commit to get to Jesus. But this would have never worked if Jesus had not committed to Simon's commitment.
Right.
Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Because it's bad to have somebody you done committed to them, but they ain't gonna commit to you.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Simon Peter said, since it is you, I believe that it is you. Bid me to come to you on the water. And watch this now. Watch this. Simon Peter said, Lord, since it is you, bid me to come. Now watch what Jesus said. He don't give Peter no whole list of things. He gave him one word, and it was come.
Four-letter word. Four-letter word. Come.
Now you see, can you
Simple.
move on come?
Yeah. Simple.
You need God to give you 2 or 3 words before. And times in life, God don't give us but one word, and we got to move on that one word.
And then you got to pray
want
about it.
5 and 6, 7, 8, 9 words before you decide to move. And Jesus said, come.
You want to pray about it?
Some of you all
Let me pray about it.
because you might need more than one word.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're right.
Now you gotta remember, Jesus, now come on y'all class. Jesus said, come.
Yeah.
This is one word. This one word was the same time a command. It's a command.
Yes, sir.
That word come is a command, a promise. Jesus will never give us a command to do something without first empowering us to do it.
Right.
The only
It's his
reason
responsibility.
why Jesus ever told Peter to get out of the boat is because Peter already had what it takes to get out the boat.
Yeah.
He ain't calling you to get out if you ain't got it.
Yeah.
So don't get upset because some other, because if it, now y'all got to remember, it was others. He could have said to, now I don't know, y'all probably could go down the list and name all the folks that was in the boat that day, but it don't say, he said come to any other ones. And evidently, Simon Peter was wisely, did not attempt to walk on the water without the order from the Lord Jesus Christ to do it. His attempt without approval of Jesus would have been to know. Now I want you all to see, God certainly is not going to help what he does not approve.
Right. You gotta prove it first.
Y'all miss it.
You gotta prove it.
Y'all miss it. God certainly is not going to help what he does not approve.
Thank you, Lord.
Y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. See, I said God certainly is not going to help what he does not approve. If he's already said come, it's
already
approved.
done.
Yeah, that's right.
Done deal. It's a done deal.
That's why I can get out the boat. That's why I can move. Because but when God gives the command, watch this, when God gives the command, and I'm getting ready to give you some that you might want to put your seatbelt on, God gives the command, but when God gives his, watch this, when God gives the command, when God gives his approval, you have the confidence that he's going to help you, because whom God enlists, he enlightens. And whom God enlightens, he empowers. And whom God empowers, he enriches.
Okay, you got to slow down.
Whom God enlists,
he enlightens.
he enlightens.
Yeah.
Whom God enlightens, he empowers. And whom God empowers, he enriches. You got to take that back home.
Oh yeah, he enriches.
You got to take that home. You got to take that home. If you want your Christian life to be stronger, in whom God enlists. Y'all got it. He enlightens.
Yeah.
And whom God enlightens, he
empowers.
And whom God empowers,
he enriches.
He enriches. I ain't trying. I'm getting a preaching voice.
Yeah, he enriches. And whom he enriches, he endures.
If you want your Christian life, to be real, I had a ball when I taught this in the church. You must have a word. Listen, you must have a word from God. You got to remember, you got to have a word from God. Now let me tell you something here. When Peter got out of the boat, let me ask you all a question. When he got out of the boat, was he walking on the water or was he walking on the word?
On the word.
On the word. He didn't step to the command. He didn't step out.
I say he walking on the word.
Yeah. He didn't step out.
He
He
don't know
said.
nothing about the water. But he knows something about the word. The word really what called him out there. So really, in actuality, he's really not walking on the water.
On the word.
He walking on the word. That's what all y'all sitting up in here.
He didn't get the word. It wasn't about
So
that.
now don't be acting like y'all walking on the word.
Yeah.
You get up here, you preach on the word, you stand on the word.
Yeah.
You came here today on the word.
Yeah.
You gonna leave here on the word. You
the
gonna
word.
go home tonight and get into bed on the word. Then you gonna get up in the morning on the word.
Yeah. That's it. That's
It was
The
it
word.
was the water didn't call him out there.
it. No, he would have sunk.
The word called him out.
Yeah, he would have sunk instantly.
Y'all preachers get ready for
Yeah,
Sunday. This
on the
is
word.
Sunday sermon right here now. Yeah. You see, you gotta come out here on the word. And see, people don't see that he didn't come out there from a word or water invitation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He came from a word invitation.
Yeah.
Because whom God enlists,
He
that's over
enlightens.
here. He
Enlightens.
enlightens. And whom God
He enlightens, he empowers.
And whom
He
God
empowers.
he enriches.
And whom he enriches, he established.
You must have a word from the
Then you
Lord.
will have
You must,
endure.
and then watch this. Not only does he come out here on the word, but here's another thing is, he committed to the word. Because it's one
Already.
thing hearing the word, but now you
Acted
gotta
on it.
commit to the word.
Acted on
Because
it.
now that same word gotta get him out the boat.
Yeah. He acted on
We
it.
moving now. We
Action.
moving. We going somewhere this way. You must commit to him, and he must be committed to your commitment. See, here's the thing about it is, I believe as you commit yourself to God, he commits himself to your commitment.
Because he has approved it.
You see, God and my commitment is when I commit myself to him, he commits himself to my commitment. Oh, y'all missed it. When I commit myself to him, he said, all right, I'm going to commit to you because you done made a commitment to you. You made a commitment to me. Jesus never told Peter to commit himself only. He committed to him when he got out of the boat. You don't need to ever get out of the boat and you ain't got God commitment with your commitment.
I know you're right. You gotta be lined up first. You gotta line it up. You gotta be aligned.
Yes. The reason why I believe Jesus committed to Simon Peter's commitment was that he was honored and pleased by the greatness of his request. What tripped Jesus out is that Peter would ask him to come out. That he would ask, Lord, if it's you, bid me to come out there.
Yeah.
You gotta know who the man is before you go out there. And what made Jesus commit to him, he said, I'm honored that the man would even come out here.
Yeah. He could have asked me to come to the boat.
And please don't get on the water if you don't know.
Yeah.
Please stay in the boat if you don't know the man. Please stay at home if you don't know the man. Please don't go try to build nothing if you don't know the man. Please don't try to go out here and do anything if you don't know the man.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Simon Peter knew and believed that Jesus could do the impossible. And let me tell you something. You got to know him before you get out.
Oh yeah.
You got to have a relationship. And when you have a relationship, God will send the resources. Well, most times you want the resources without the relationship. And when you get the relationship, God will send the resources.
That's first.
You
Priority.
want the resources first, and then you'll say, I get the relationship later. And I want to let you all know something. Relationship always outweigh resources.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you, Dr. Brown, that I've always had the resources. But because of my relationship with him,
Yeah.
he sent the
Resources. Yeah, do it.
Anybody in here have
Yeah.
nothing?
Oh yeah.
You didn't have nothing else. You had a relationship with the man on the water. And that's what Peter had. Peter said, I don't have the resources, but I do know him. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. I invited my girl here today, but I'm gonna tell you, let me calm down. Even though there was greater danger to Simon Peter of walking on the water than anything, I want to let you know something. in actuality, the safety was not in the boat. The people in the boat was in danger.
Yeah.
Only when you get in the water is when you're safe. Peter, if he had stayed in the boat, he would have died in the boat. Don't think the folks in the boat are safe. They are in danger. Only when you go into Jesus is when you're safe.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Man, I feel revival coming. Y'all always thinking, well, the people in the boat safe. They're not safe. They are afraid of all get out.
Oh yeah.
Peter ain't care nothing.
Yeah.
The safety, watch this, the safety is not in the boat. Y'all come on, write this down. The safety is not in the boat. The safety is in the water with Jesus. Because I would rather be in the water with Jesus than to be in the boat with my friends. Lord have mercy. Y'all feeling me?
Oh yeah.
I'm getting happy. I gotta hurry up. We got 15 more minutes.
Oh man.
Listen here. You said it's perfectly. Listen. Jesus, Simon Peter was perfectly saved when Jesus said, "Come out here to me." Let me get to the second point because I got to get all of this. I don't want y'all to leave out here without half of these notes, because y'all gonna go home and Brown rise them and Paul rise them and Carter rise them and Akin rise them. Number two, the rules for moving beyond mediocrity is, what are the rules for moving beyond? Write this down. Don't look at the waves. That's what here's the rules. There are always rules for moving beyond. Verse 36, when he saw the winds was boisterous, he was afraid. Simon became distracted by the winds and the waters and the splashing, but don't look at the waves. He was opposed by the storm. Simon started, don't look at the waves. Don't look at the waves. Don't look at the waves. And that's, the waves has a whole lot to do with the things that are distracting. Here's something else that you all gotta write this down, is that number B. Not only you got to don't look at the waves, but here's a requirement, here's some of the other rules. Don't listen to everyone in the boat. Don't listen to everyone in the boat. You can never get good advice from someone in the boat. Not doing anything for the Lord. Some of you all going to folks that ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing. You know, I want to be around preachers who are doing it. Somebody who is trying to work on it. How can you encourage folks to get out of the boat when you've never ever been out of it in your life? How they encourage you? How people encourage you? That some people encourage you to keep hanging on around the boat. That's right. One thing to keep most Christians from being what you can be in the Lord is listening to the wrong people. And I can't tell you how many people I listen to that I should have never listened to. They listening to the wrong people. They are trying to please the wrong person. And so many weak faith Christians trying to please everybody. All right, here's something else I want you all to do. What did I tell you? What are the rules? Rules number 1A is what?
Don't look at the waves.
B is what?
Don't listen to everyone in the boat.
All right, here's C. Don't look at your feet. Don't look at your feet.
Yes,
So if you decide to get out the boat and head towards Jesus, don't become preoccupied with your own spirituality. When your eyes begin to wander and you begin to look at what you are doing, don't look at your feet. Don't think it's your feet getting you out there.
Yes,
So you know how sometimes y'all get out the boat and then y'all want to start looking and say, oh, look what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, look how I'm showing out.
Yeah.
He'll show you who you
Oh, yeah.
You'll see who. Don't look at your feet.
Yes.
You looking down.
Don't you look at, and I messed up plenty days looking at my feet because I didn't know who was the one who was keeping my feet to be going. All right? All right? Here's something else I want to give you. All right, it's 11:45. I got to give it all to you because I got to have all y'all to have this. All right. C is don't look at your feet. Is there a D?
Yes, sir.
Don't take your eyes off of Jesus. Don't take your eyes off of Jesus. Worried about the waves around you and walking on the water to go out to Jesus. Don't take your eyes off it.
Yes, sir.
You cannot have a worrying heart. Watch this. Can I give y'all something? You can't have a worrying heart and walking feet at the same time. Y'all missed it. You can't have a worrying heart and they just told me I got 5 minutes. I don't know what. Y'all stole some of my time. Let me give you number 3. Listen, I'm not doing justice to the lesson, but I do want to give y'all enough. Let me give y'all number 3. Here's the rewards for moving beyond mediocrity. Let's close this out today. Is number 8, you get to leave the boat. That's the reward. When you move beyond mediocrity, is that you get to leave the boat.
Yes, sir.
Now this is going to shout you. Because you see, you get to leave the boat. You will get the experience of your whole life, of your new life, because you will get the experience to understand what it fully means to completely trust God. You know? You know what it means when to leave the boat. You get to leave the boat. Here's B. Here's another reward that happens if you move beyond mediocrity is you get to be rescued by Jesus. You get to be rescued by Jesus. It seems like I've lived much of my life having to be rescued by Jesus. When you walk on the water, you live the next to your failure and then the next to the Lord's success. You get a chance to get rescued by Jesus because he won't never call you out here and he doesn't rescue you.
Yes.
C, you get to go to Jesus because verse 29, and when Peter comes down out of the boat, he walks on the water to go to Jesus.
Get to go to Jesus.
He get to go to Jesus. Lord have mercy. I've got to let you go. But E, isn't there an E in there?
D.
D. Okay, D. All right. You get to walk with Jesus. Is that the last one?
Yes.
You get to walk. Huh?
That's a good one.
You
Yeah.
get to walk with Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fine. Getting to walk with Jesus. That's reward.
Yes, sir.
There's no E. There's an E.
Close.
Close it. Yeah. Close. Summarize. It's summary. All I've been trying to tell you is if you're going to move beyond mediocrity.
It's time to go to Calvary. Don't close it out. Oh my God. Lord, thank you for another time of sharing. I pray that these precious jewels and gems you gave to us today